Welcome, everyone, to the first episode of Tales from the Briar Patch. Tonight, I am your host, Ihan, and I will be recounting some tales that happened to me not too long ago in my life. A few years ago, my husband and I were expecting a bundle of joy, and we were living very calmly in our new apartment, as most couples do. Before I got pregnant, I had noticed that something was odd about this home. One thing you should know, a haunted house smells lived in. A home without visitors or without owners smells empty. This home smelt lived in, but I brushed it off, just assuming that it was because, well, there was an apartment. Many people are there. I didn't think much of it, although I knew the smell of haunted. This brings me to the thing in our apartment. The thing in our apartment, I'm not sure if it followed me from my old life into this new one, or if it was something that was waiting there for me and attached itself to me after we left. Our apartment was very small, and I would notice, just around the corner, a face smiling at me. But when I'd look, it was gone. Now, I would see this face almost all the time because I was home by myself. My husband worked, I did not. It was just me and our cat. Eventually, the cat started to notice it too. Well, I'd smudge, I'd cleanse, I'd put up my wards to protect myself, but it was still there. Didn't really ever get close. Well, not that one at least. That apartment was always strange, to say the least. It was small. It was a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. It was just a giant rectangle. We were on the first floor, and thankfully I never had to deal with something standing in the window. Just something standing at my bedside. After a few months of living there, my husband and I said we were ready for a child. So, I was pregnant, and I felt like that made me invincible. I felt indestructible. That was all an illusion. If you've ever met anyone who is pregnant, they would tell you about the nightmares that they get. That for some reason, being pregnant, you get crazy, lucid, vivid dreams and terrible nightmares. Well, one nightmare in particular kept me up all night, and I almost didn't want to sleep for the week. When I was in my first trimester, towards the end of it, I had a really vivid nightmare of me and my mom in the downtown city, just walking around, and we split up for a minute. I start trying to look for her, I call her on her phone, and then I notice a woman following me. She started chasing me, and I'm running. I run through the different stores, I run in and out, and then I run into an Asian restaurant, hoping that this place would protect me for some reason. Call my mom and tell her to meet me there. As we go in, I noticed that the woman had followed me in. She pretended to be a waitress. But I knew something was wrong. And then she spotted me, her body removing from the lower half. and it was just the spine of a woman dragging behind her as she crawled her way towards me. And then we ran outside, and her wings sprouted as she traced me. I eventually got away. My mother in the dream was praying and warded her off. I woke up. I was so dazed and confused. I've heard of a cryptid like this before, but I wasn't looking into any of that stuff in that recent moment. And then I was reminded, I was like, I know there's a cryptid about it. And I look it up, just assuming that it was something from my imagination, something like just imagining if Bigfoot was chasing me for no reason. But no, this specific cryptid was one that targeted pregnant women. And I was very scared. I was so worried about my baby. Thankfully, I was fine. Or so I thought. The baby was fine. But my body started shutting down in different ways. My second trimester, throughout the rest of my pregnancy, was just horrible. Lots of horrible pain. Turns out I had organ failure. Not gallstones. The whole gallbladder just stopped working. Sometimes to this day I wonder, was it because of that demon? I've never had a dream like that before, haven't had a dream like that ever since. My child is healthy and strong and asleep in the next room. But that wasn't the only strange thing that happened to me when I was pregnant. No. In the middle of the night, I'd have to wake up to pee really badly. When the baby gets big, it sits on your bladder. Doesn't matter how deep in slumber you are. My baby would wake me up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. without fail. And me being as superstitious as I am, I was horrified every time. I would wake up, I would check the time, and I would try to muster up all the courage I could to get out of bed. My husband sound asleep next to me. My cat would follow me to the bathroom and sit with me, and when I was done, she'd walk me right back to bed, without fail, every single night. This one night in particular, I was sleeping, and I woke up. It was around 3 a.m., almost 4 a.m. And my bedside faced the window. We had a sheet pinned up to the blinds because the light was streaming in and we could not afford curtains at the time. But at night, you can see the street lamps going through the blinds, our sheet. But not that night. I stared into darkness. I dart my eyes to the side, and I see the light. I dart my eyes back in front of me. There was someone standing in front of me. A dark silhouette of a man. And it was just standing by my bedside watching me. And I was too scared to move. I closed my eyes, just thinking maybe it's the sleep in my eyes. This isn't real. I should have known better. I opened my eyes again, and I watched as a dark hand reached towards me. And right before it could touch my face, My cat jumps right onto the bed, and I jump up. Figure is gone. I was mortified. My cat rarely jumps up on the bed and rarely jumps right up to my face. She likes to snuggle my feet more than anything. I pet her and I said thank you. And then I woke my husband up quickly and promptly and said I needed help getting to the bathroom, getting up, just making up an excuse. He doesn't believe in any of this stuff, but he knows I do, and he knows that I see it. That wasn't the other thing. Soon after that night, my husband, who talks in his sleep, woke me up from his talk. I hear him whispering, I think he's having a nightmare, so I sit and listen, waiting to wake him up. I look at him, I listen. Oh, her? Yeah, she's right next to me. Do you want to talk to her? The fear in my body. I was mortified. I woke him up. I shook him awake. I was like, hey, wake up. I really gotta use the bathroom and I need help. I can't move. I don't want to know what he was talking to. He can't remember his dreams. Not the way I can, at least. I made sure he walked into the bathroom. I walked right back. And that was it for our small apartment. After the baby was born, we moved back in with my parents so that they could help us with our little girl. And ever since we've been back, the thing that smiles at me from the corner of the wall still likes to smile at me now. I ignore it. Sometimes I cuss it out, tell it to leave because I'm bored. I'm annoyed. Like, ooh, you're scary. Congratulations. Ice is cold. What else do you want? It just stares and smiles. I don't know what it wants. It doesn't come into my room. Doesn't go into my daughter's room. Just stays by the laundry room and smiles. I guess my words work. And in this house, we have a ghost cat. At least I assume it's a cat. It's cat size. And it's just a little black shadow that walks past my feet. The other cats who live here play with it. I notice it and I'll say, hi, Ghost Kitty. Ghost Kitty is fun. Very sweet. Sometimes it jumps up on my bed. I can feel it. It feels like there's something there. But I'm not here to make you believe in ghosts. I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm just a simple person trying to tell you what I've experienced. And that is only the tip of my spooky iceberg. If you want to hear more about the strange things that have happened to me in my life, be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment if you wish to have your story told here in the Briar Patch. Good night and stay haunting.